From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief creator of Amazing Ideas at Stunning Digital Marketing. In this podcast, my monthly co-host, Mr. Ryan Waterbury, is with me, and we're going to talk about how to grow your business and your agency. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. This podcast is sponsored by Stunning Digital Marketing, the agency that can help protect your WordPress website today. Go to stunningdigitalmarketing.com and see what we can do to help you protect your business investment. That's stunningdigitalmarketing.com. Yes. Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here. And then today I have my good friend and monthly co-host, Mr. Ryan Waterbury with me. Hey Ryan, how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah, I second that. It was I was outside earlier. It was looking like rain. The rain is blowing over. You know how that goes, and I'll take it because we've had rain the last couple nights. Last night I came in late. We had rain, and you know how that goes too, right? So, and I see your office is rather quiet today for a change.
Exactly. The staff was just fed. They're
Yes.
napping. Their post dinner nap.
So, you know, you and I were talking offline, and one of the things we always try and do is grow businesses. And today we were going to talk about kind of growing your agency and how to scale it a little bit. And we were thinking, I think, more on the personnel side, weren't we? So what's your thoughts on that?
You know, there are a couple of ways that I've grown my agency, and I'd seen a LinkedIn post from Brooklyn Nash, Beam Content CEO, and you know, it talked about that magic $100,000 number that
Yep.
freelancers kind of the hit, and you know, as solopreneurs that are in the service business, you know, value billing is great, but
Mhm.
at some point you hit a wall with that revenue wall
Yep.
or the amount of work because you're billing for your time. And at that point, you look around and the first thing that I do is trim the fat. Look where I'm spending money and look what tools I'm using to help automate and, you know, try and streamline things. But even when you do that, and if you've already got good systems in place, and you should if you're getting to that revenue level, then you start to look around and think, do I need some help?
Yep.
And, you know, there are a couple of ways to go about it. And I'm looking at being as busy as I was in, you know, the start of 2020 when I had staff, but I'm doing it differently. And it's been kind of an interesting journey.
I would suggest the do you need help starts before you even get to that process. It might even start with the sales process. You might decide, hey, maybe I need a VA to handle sales calls. Maybe I need to potentially outsource and hire a sales team to make those calls that I don't have time to make. Because one of the problems freelancers all do is they all play the feast or famine cycle. I'm busy today. I got 3 projects on the go, so leave me alone. And then they go dark for 3 months while they try and drum up 3 more projects. And I would argue and say it's probably better to be busy consistently, and then you don't have that feast or famine cycle.
Oh, exactly. And that's what I was alluding to early on when I, you know, opened up that you have good systems.
Yep.
And, you know, like when you talk about bringing salespeople on, if you've automated your lead flow, you have a good sales pipeline,
Mhm.
you have automated as many of the follow-up emails, your proposal is templated, and you know the invoice, you know, for deposit is auto generated when everyone signs,
I don't
things
like
like
that
that.
word. I'm going to stop you. I don't like that word deposit. Let's use the word initial payment or payment 1 and 2 or payment 1 and 3.
Sure. Yeah, however you want to phrase that.
Okay.
But yeah, and you get to that point where you've maxed out your systems. And like you said, hey, maybe you want to hire someone, to take that over to do more of that. And when we talk about individual projects, just things that I've been seeing lately, the small business, 5-page sites, they're not there anymore. Small businesses are struggling, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing that mid-market and enterprise market starting to invest more. And those are projects for me that as a solo agency,
Mhm.
when I look at that and we start talking timelines, I can't fulfill all that in my current workload by myself.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
when I start to look out and think, hey, do I need to hire someone? Or are there other ways to do it?
Hmm. And I would argue and say the only way a solopreneur can only handle 2 to 3 projects a month ongoing, and then maybe some ongoing maintenance. There's no way a solopreneur's got the time to put more than 2 or 3 website builds on their plate a month. It's just not going to happen. The timelines aren't going to be met. It's going to be a disaster. I don't even like the idea of thinking of that. I've got 2 builds on my plate right now that are kind of ongoing builds, both woo builds, as you know, and I'm having hard time doing anything else with those 2 builds beyond the maintenance side of my business that I do. So I would suggest to be very careful if you're going to take on more work and not have processes in place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking past the process level. And you and I have talked over the years, and I think it was every other week we were trying out different project management tools.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
none of them fit perfectly. You finally get down to the one that you hate the least. I think that's the best way to put that.
Mhm.
And
And it's not
yeah,
Microsoft project, by the way.
oh good God, no. I I am in a love-hate relationship with ClickUp, their new UX. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm not a fan of. And
Yeah,
it's, just kind of flow-wise been but I have my workflow built in there from my lead flow pipeline, my reports, my templated web design and dev processes, my
yeah.
SEO templates, PPC templates are all there. That's all built out. And I've maximized that. So even with automating that, I'm down to should I get back into building my agency? And I guess that's more of the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Uh, where I'm looking at I had, 3 contractors. I was going to bring at least 2 of them on full time in the spring of 2020 before my niche, hospitality and restaurants, was cabal completely demolished by the events. And I got back down to doing solo work, and it was nice. It was really nice for a while. It was refreshing to get
Yeah.
my hands dirty. Now I'm in that growth phase again where how how can I grow? Do I go the contract route, or
Hmm.
uh a new method that I've been working with is forming strategic partnerships
Yeah.
and fulfilling just part of a project and working with other agencies where someone is maybe a stronger designer than I am and
Hmm.
letting them handling the initial design work and maybe some of the branding. And then I'm doing the development and the implementation and then picking up the maintenance on the end and doing the project management through. It's been an interesting way to grow, and the fact that it's allowed me and people I've collaborated with to take on more projects than just those 2 to 3 per month. But it still feels comfortable like that because we're only working on our individual piece.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's it. It it's good and bad, but so far it's been a good way to grow.
I agree with you. I think one of the things that solopreneurs should look at real quickly is, do they want to hire a VA? I mean, or a virtual assistant. I think that's a real handy way to go. I've had one before. I'm about to go back to one this summer sometime because between you and I plan on enjoying my summer. So, and the way to get myself out of all the stuff I don't want to do. So, you know, my theory, if you're not good at it, you don't want to do it, find somebody to do it for you. So I'm
Mhm.
in that mode right now. I suspect I'll have a VA, and I'm not going to go an overseas VA. I'm actually going to hire locally. Yes, it will cost me more, but I don't want to go overseas this time. Not happening.
So what tasks when you bring on a VA, and
Yep.
that's kind of a broad term because I've tried to bring in VAs at different levels before, and they're either too skilled for the role and they're good and they don't hang out and they pick up your processes and and move along on their own solo journey,
Yeah.
or they are very specific in that VA admin role and don't
Yes.
do some of the things that I'd like to hand off. So
Yeah.
what when you look for a VA, what do you I mean, what are you looking for? What tasks are you looking to offload?
Simple things like answering emails, keep an eye on tickets that come in. I use a ticketing system like you do, making sure at least the initial responses get sent out so they don't get ignored. Potentially building my newsletter, which, you know, that's a time suck, no matter how I like to call it. That's just the way it is. And just the simple stuff, maybe some accounting work behind the scenes that I don't like doing. I do use an accountant, so that makes that side of it easy, but things like that, just non-technical tasks really for me.
Yeah, and I think it's the same for me. The uh, the admin tasks, those are the ones that I like doing the least. And you hit
Yes.
it on the head right there.
Yeah.
Accountant. I do have an accountant, but she's more, I use her not for bookkeeping. And I want to make the distinction there, bookkeeper versus accountant. They do
Yes,
different things.
they do.
And honestly, for myself, I don't do enough transactions monthly. I mean, I have web care that rolls once a month, and then, you know, project investments from clients for projects. So there's not a lot to bookkeeping, but that's one of those tasks that I can never find myself sitting down to do it.
No.
And I'm reconciling 2, 3, 4, 8 months of books.
And I might even hand the VA some other simple tasks like uploading a podcast or uploading that kind of stuff. Like that's what I call consider real nominal work, and anybody should be able to do it. So that's kind of where I'm headed. As I say, I plan on enjoying my summer. So there you go.
Uh,
What other things are you? I know we've talked about this, and you've hired people before. Are you looking at hiring people right now, or not sure?
I'm not sure. And so that's the interesting part is I started a strategic partnership with Rhonda Nygaard. I think it's almost 2 years now,
Yep.
and she reached out to me with some questions on a project that needed some dev chops that she didn't have. And she wanted someone that was familiar with Beaver Builder, which is my workflow, and someone that did more of the code side and the back end side. And so we've done several projects together, and it works so well where if I can keep the lead pipeline full, we're usually working on the project in depth at different phases where we're still involved with the project, yeah, as it's moving along, but it allows us to take more work and focus on the strengths that we have
Yep.
and work on the specific parts that we like. Not that I
Yep.
don't like doing design, but if I can work with someone that's better at designing than I am, and let them come up with the concepts, I I would much rather implement those designs and do the development and write code to fulfill that part of the project.
Yeah, and
And
what I would also say is you hit something that nail on the head, and you've mentioned it several times today, the lead pipeline. I think you need to automate that lead pipeline. So you need to have a clear call to action on your pages, on your service pages. One of the calls to action I have is book a call, just book it. And it's on every page at the bottom. If you look, since I've finally got around to cleaning up my own website, it's on the bottom of every page as a call to action. I use Make to immediately, any email that books a call goes from the call to action right into my mailing software. That's just the way it is, because the minute they book that call, they've actually done work with you. And legally, you are allowed, whether people want to admit it or not admit it, or do it or not do it, the minute they do work with you, you're allowed to add them to your mailing list legally. So I immediately moved that. You're shaking your head at me. Why is that?
I know, and it wasn't too long ago where somebody found that very unethical and was complaining that, is it
It's okay.
normal to add someone after they, you book a call, to
Mm-hmm.
add them to your list? Absolutely. And marketing is a numbers game. When we talk about that lead flow
Yep.
and making sure that things are coming in, I absolutely, if somebody books a call with me, I have the checkbox on the contact form. Nobody ever unchecks it. So they all subscribe to my newsletter when they come in for
Mm-hmm.
even the soft inquiry. Interestingly enough, some recent leads, and I've been doing a little more data aggregation and analytics on who's interacting with my newsletter. It's the newest prospects that interact the most often,
Of course.
and they want to learn about you, learn who you are, and some of the feedback that I've gotten is the information that I put in my newsletter is great, and it's been extremely helpful. That's been a tipping point for some clients to sign on and do work with
Mm-hmm.
me. So I'm in 100% agreement with you there that absolutely keep your lead pipeline full. That's the
And then to go with that, set up an automated system, no matter what you use, ConvertKit, um, even MailerLite can do automated systems
Mhm.
now. I know I've been playing with SendFox by AppSumo. It does automated systems. Set up an automated system to do your follow-ups for you, to do your nurturing for you. And then you don't have to do it all. It's all done for you. And that's the beauty of automation, right? Then all
Mhm.
that admin task is out the window, and you can go back to doing what you do well.
Right. Exactly. And speaking about the lead pipeline, having that nailed down and making sure that you are continually booking work consistently,
Mm-hmm.
that's that absolutely has to be happening before you even consider hiring someone
Yep.
or working with someone else. If you can't keep yourself busy consistently, then you're just adding a whole different level of stress at the end of the month, making payroll, keeping employees busy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's absolutely the first step.
Yep.
And I'm, looking at that point that lead flow isn't the problem. How do you fulfill all the work that you have coming in? That's the rub. And one of the things that I noticed this morning, I saw one of my clients. She's extremely busy, does a lot of the same things that I do from a time perspective, in that she tries to put too much in her day. And she
Uh-oh.
did a little exercise, and it was funny. She said, "I want to do these X things," and she said, gave put down a task list and tried to plan it out, and she put it into, it was either Chat GPT or Gemini, one of the big two AI tools, and she said, make me a schedule based on average time to accomplish these tasks for the next week. And it had her starting at 4 a.m.
Uh-oh.
and ending at midnight. So when you start looking at time and
Yeah.
the things that you need or want to accomplish, like we need a good work-life balance.
Yeah.
And that's one of the triggers for me. When I'm not having that life balance and I've got too much of the work balance, that tells me either I'm not being efficient with my time or I've taken on too many tasks. And
And
I need to
usually
look.
it's And usually for you and I, it's usually the latter. And
Yes.
that's where I sit the last couple of weeks. It's like, can I find 2 more hours in a day? And I'm moving stuff around like chess pieces on a chessboard lately. It's gotten that bad.
I know the feeling. And the most trusted people that I'd love to hand off work to and collaborate with is our Slack group, our mastermind group. But you know what? We're all equally busy. There's absolutely no
Yeah.
time for any of us to pitch in. And
Yep.
that's the unfortunate part that you start looking at your peers and it's like, what do I do?
Yeah, it's so true. Uh, really appreciate this. Kind of a little bit of a short one today, but I think we got our points across.
Yeah,
Ryan, thanks as always. We've been doing these monthly segments for almost 2 years now, if not over. So they're great.
yeah. It's been a while.
People seem to love them. Somebody wants to get a hold of you to talk dev work or anything else. Where's the best way?
Uh, most major social media platforms at One Dog Solutions. You can visit my website, onedog.solutions, or email me, ryan.waterbury at onedog.solutions.
Amen. Have a wonderful day. Thanks as always. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too.
Bye bye. This show is brought to you by StunningDigitalMarketing.com, your Toronto leader in digital marketing services. Not only do we protect your WordPress website, we can help you with your site, provide social media management for your business, or even do one-on-one consulting. To find out more, go to StunningDigitalMarketing.com. A very special thank you to Ryan for joining me on this edition of the SDM Show. This podcast is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much. I love you, and I think about you every day. For more information about Stunning Digital Marketing, your digital marketing experts, go to stunningdigitalmarketing.com or go to stunningdigitalmarketing.info to find out all the great places that Rob Cairns can be found on the web.